Oh hi. Chengdu. The city of sub-provincial value in southwest China, in the valley of the Minjiang River, the place of stay of the authorities of the province of Sichuan. Emblem of the city is the ancient gold disc, birds of the gold sun, found in 2001 at excavation of culture of Tsinch within the city. The city is located on the westernmost tip of the Sichuan Hollow, on the plain of Chengdu. The city district was direct on 192 came from the west on the east and on 166 came from the north on the south at the area of 12390 came. Borders on city districts. Daeyeon, Tai'an, Maishan and Yan and also within Gava, the Tibetan and Xiansky Autonomous Area. The urban area is located at the height about 500 m above sea level. The lowest point of the city district of Chengdu makes 378 m. Outside the city the relief is more various. The climate of Chengdu is characterized as damp subtropical. It is comfortable both for accommodation of people and for farming. Mount Kindling protect the city from penetration of northern air masses from Siberia, therefore the winter in Chengdu is softer than in the lower part of Yangtze. Average temperature of January -5°C. Snow drops out extremely seldom, though short-term frosts are sometimes possible. Summer damp and quite hot, however not so as in the cities is lower across Yangtze. Average temperatures of July and August about 25°C, though in the afternoon they can reach 37°C and above. The steady periods of a heat are also quite rare. The greatest number of rainfall drops out from June to September. Chengdu arose in the 4th century BB. When at foundation of the kingdom of Shu people came to these places, to them it was told. The first year, to become the settlement, to become the second the city, the third year, to become the capital. From the words, become the capital. The name Chengdu also appeared. In the ancient kingdom of Shu, Chengdu, Sindu and Guandu. Modern to Shu'an. The three Du together called were renowned. However, Chengdu towered subsequently, and Sindu and Guandu so far became his components. At the beginning of our era, Chengdu was famous for production of brocade and also ginseng. The city of brocade was called. Till 316 BB, Chengdu was the capital of the kingdom of Shu. During Proyectus era from 221 to 263 years, the capital of the kingdom of Shu Han. In the first half of the 4th century, the capital of the state of Cheng. At the beginning of the 5th century, the state capital the Western Shu, and in the period of 5 dynasties, the capital of the states early Shu and late Shu. In 994, Chengdu sometime was the capital of the insurgent state of Li Shu. In 1644-46, Chengdu was occupied with insurgent army Zhang Xianchuna, having become the capital of the great western state created by him. In the years of Great Peasant War, Manchurian conquest of China and War of Three Princes tributaries, the city strongly was damaged and practically became deserted. After establishment of the Empire of Qing, the government had to take special measures for repeated settling of the become empty province of Sichuan, and the city was gradually restored. The province of Sichuan was allocated in a separate military namestnichestvo, and since 1731 Chengdu became the residence of the Deputy of Sichuan. Till the 20th century of Chengdu was the district city which didn't have own governing bodies. In 1928 the counties of Chengdu and Huaiyan were officially united in the city of Chengdu with own authorities. On December 27, 1949 the Chinese People's Liberation Army entered Chengdu, and Chengdu was a part of the People's Republic of China. In 1952 the province of Sichuan was restored, and Chengdu became the city of direct provincial submission, in the government of the province was placed. The city of sub-provincial Chengdu Value is divided into 12 areas, 5 city counties, 3 counties. Economy. Chengdu, the large center of economy, trade, finance, science and technology, and also the important center of transport and communication. According to the report of the World Bank in 2007 Global Investment Climate of Chengdu, it was announced by a standard of investment climate in China. Also, according to the research conducted by the Nobel laureate of economy Robert Mundell and the famous Chinese economist Li Yin and published by the State Information Center in 2010, Chengdu became the engine of the Western Program of Development and a standard of investment climate of China, and also the main center of a new urbanization. Only in 2010 of 12 companies from the list of Fortune 500 including Bank, Nippon Steel Corporation and Electricité de France opened the offices, branches of the operational centers in Chengdu. In total for the end of 2010 the offices in Chengdu had more than 200 companies from this list, that is the highest rate among the cities of the western and central China. The city became the largest center of attraction of investments in the western part of the country. Industry. An important role in the economy of Chengdu is played by industrial production. Primary branches of the industry include production of food, drinks, electrical equipment, industrial equipment, cars and medicines in Chengdu. The largest enterprises in these industries: Chengdu Sugar and Wine, Chengdu Food Group, Sichuan Medicine, Chengdu Automobile and others. In Chengdu, the high-tech industrial park, where there is one of the aerospace productions, largest in the country, extends. The plant of the Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group company produces military and other aircraft equipment, including the modern Chengdu D-10 Prompt Dragon fighter and the first copies of one of the few in the world of the fighter of the 5th generation of Chengdu D-20 Black Eagle. The Sichuan Tendon Technology Company develops and makes the TB robot plane. The plant of the Comet Company produces knots of a nasal part of passenger liners. The city is one of the centers of automotive industry and production of auto parts, most important in the country. The enterprises of such car makers as Ford Volkswagen, Ford Toyota, Ford G-Fang Truck, Geely, Volvo, Sinatra Guangpai, Yuma Auto and Daewoo Light Truck are presented to Chengdu. There are also about 200 large producers of component parts for cars and buses. In Chengdu, factories of semiconductors of the Texas Instruments, Tsinghua Unigroup, SMIC and Diodes Incorporated companies are located. Also, the city is the large center of biotechnologies and biopharmaceutics. Information technologies. Chengdu actively develops as national base in the field of electronics and it The high-tech industrial zone of development of Chengdu attracted tens of the companies from the Fortune Global 500 list and thousands of Chinese companies, including Intel, IP, Cisco, Dell, Nokia, Motorola, SAP, Siemens, Canon, Ape, Xerox, Microsoft, Tito, Knight and Wipro, and also local giant Lenovo. Chengdu is one of 5 largest bases of the industry of the software in China. Creative business. In 2021, the added value of the cultural and creative industry in Chengdu exceeded 207 billion yuans. About $32.6 billion US. This indicator increased by 14.8% year-on-year and made 10.4% of RP Chengdu. Power. At the beginning of the 21st century in Minjiang riverheads near the city of Dujianggan, the large hydroelectric power station is constructed. Construction and real estate. In the last decades in Chengdu, the construction boom is observed. Annually in the city, a lot of office, residential and trade real estate is built. As of 2022, 2 towers on 280m and 210m. Anders Hotel. 2 towers on 249m and 229m. F's Towers. 2 towers on 248m. Global Time Center. 243m. Western FE. 241m. Art Residence. 2 towers on 222m. Tianfu FE. 2 towers on 220m. Yintei Center. 220m. And Dongfang Tianxiang Plaza. 2 towers on 219m. Were the highest buildings of Chengdu International Commerce Center. The largest shopping centers are Ifs Mall, Raffles City and the Atrium. Transport. The international airport Xuanli is located approximately in 16 km from the downtown. It is the second most loaded airport of continental China. For 2015, traffic made 4 million passengers. Flights to the majority of the large cities of the country and also the international flights to such cities as Hong Kong, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Taipei, Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, Phuket, Bangkok, etc. are performed from the airport. At the airport, the large airline Chengdu Airlines is based. In June 2021, the new international airport Tianfu is put into operation. Chengdu, the large railway junction. Hebao branches Chengdu, by Chengdu, Chongqing, Chengdu, Kunming and Chengdu, Dazhou are crossed. Now the city has 4 main stations. Besides, the Sivnoyasov Rivervukasnaya station is the largest switchyard in all China. In the next years, 1 more station will be built. From Chengdu to Act, Chongqing and on Dujianggan. And 3 more high-speed railway lines come to the end with a construction. At the same time, the line to Chongqing will be transformed to a part of the trunk-width national high-speed line to the speeds of 350 km/h. The railway junction of Chengdu plays an important role in import of barley, wheat, rice, flax and sunflower oil from Russia, Central and Southeast Asia, and also in export of the Sichuan tea to Central Asia. Besides, Chengdu is the transshipment center between railway junctions of the western China and seaports of the southern and east China. In 2013-2020, cargo trains from Chengdu made more than 8,000 flights en route China-Europe, having connected Sichuan to 61 foreign cities. The transport corridor of Ningbo, Chengdu, on which goods from Japan and South Korea get to Sichuan, is important, and then in transit follow to Europe. Generally, trains transport electronics, household appliances, the industrial equipment, textiles, cars and automotive components. In 2020, the cost of commodity turnover of the railway port of Chengdu reached 150.7 billion yuan. The cargo terminal in Chengdu, the Chengdu International Railway Port Investment and Development Group company manages. In 2021, new routes from Chengdu to St. Petersburg, Amsterdam and Oslo opened. The subway of Chengdu was officially opened in Chengdu on October 1, 2010. For the end of 2017, it consists of 6 lines, including Ring. About 400 bus routes work in the city and agglomeration. In Chengdu, the set of the national highways going from the provinces of Shaanxi, Yunnan and the Tibetan Autonomous Area are crossed. The Chengdu-Chongqing Highway became one of the first autobahns in the country and the first in her western part. Science and education. Military aeromechanics. The 611th Research Aviation Institute of the Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group Company is engaged in development. Sites. In the center of studying and cultivation of big pandas. Complex of the Temple of Yuhatsa. 16th-18th century. The Temple of the Green Goat, the Taoist Temple. Baoiganza's Monastery. House Museum of the Poet Du Fu. Museum of the Province of Sichuan. Chinese Natural Nature Reserve of Big Pandas. Tianfu Square. Television Tower. The Western Pearl, having height of 339 meters, is the highest construction of the Western China and the 16th highest construction of all China, and also holds the 18th place in the list of the highest television towers of the world. More than 20 high-rise buildings at 45 floors. List of the highest buildings of Chengdu. English. A number of such buildings of Chengdu concedes in the Western China only to Chongqing. Sports Center of Chengdu. The Global Center, New Century, the biggest building in the world by the size of the areas -1. 7 million square meters, that corresponds to the area of 3 buildings of the Pentagon or 20 buildings of the Sydney Opera. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.